right, folks, well, as you can see, this truck is really coming along. Right now I'm just going to try and get that tank drained and out of there. Okay, well, I got her jacked up a whole bunch, just to give me lots of room to get under there and work and make everything nice and stable and safe. So once again, I've got it lifted up with this, which you know, now that there's basically nothing but a frame and a cab, I mean, this 2-ton thing would be probably easily able to just lift the entire thing in one go if you could rig it up that way. But anyways, I'm just going to lower it down onto these jack stands and we should be good to go. Just trying to go nice and slow. Okay, so I will keep some tension on this. Just the more the merrier. Sitting good on these blocks back here. Okay, I'm going to keep a little bit of tension on that back line as well, just for safety's sake. Obviously, I want the weight on the stands, but I also want as much safety margin as I can get. Okay, so I've got the pump now just sitting on this bucket. I've got that bucket there, another one over here, got lids for all of them. This quick connect, very ironically, was not very quick to disconnect. Might have some grit in there or something, so rather than fighting the matter, I'm just going to go ahead and use this on the actual sump. Obviously, I have a funnel with a screen, so you know, before any of this fuel goes back in the truck, it'll all be funneled out very carefully. Okay. Well, actually comes out a lot quicker than I was expecting. I better get bucket number 2 ready right away. It's actually pretty controlled. I've got the plug sitting, you know, very conveniently nearby just in case something bad happens and I have to shut it off real quick. All right, I think she's running out now. Got another one here, just in case this dribbling goes on much longer. All right, for God's sakes, that's enough, isn't it? All right, that's probably fine. Another couple pounds in there isn't gonna make a big difference. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tighten that thing up just because it's always a chance I'll forget when I go to put this thing back in the truck that I even drained this. So it'll probably be a while from now. Okay, good and snug. Get lids on these buckets and we should be good to go. All right, well, tank is drained. Got the drain plug back in there. Got my 3 buckets pretty much full, actually. I was expecting, based on the fuel gauge, that I would be looking at 10 gallons. I only grabbed a 3rd one just to be safe, but I probably should have had a 4th one because these are all almost full. But anyways, just got to snap down the lid on that one bucket. But now I can go ahead and pull this pump out of here, and I can drop the tank and, you know, continue on. I'm just going to loosen these off. There's 2 straps. Just going to loosen them off about 1 inch or so and just try and lift it by hand while it's still on there and get a rough idea of how easy it'll be to maneuver by hand. I might need to get a jack or something, but I seriously doubt it. Yeah, as you can see looking under here, I'm sure impressed with the condition of the frame. This is the only thing where it's really been a failure, but this is all completely has failed. So you can tell it's just super thin. Up here it's solid metal. So this whole section from here down I'll cut off and build a new thing out of some 1/8 inch sheet or something like that, or 3/16 or whatever, we'll see. It's probably 3/16, yeah. So anyways, on to the next strap. I'll just go ahead and pull these right off and then try and lower it down. Well, pretty surprised at how rusty those things are coming into the tank. I guess I will have to buy new lines. Maybe of this whole top thing, there's a new system. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into how much of this can be replaced. But basically this thing's all ready to drop. It's just being held up by these lines along here, which all need to come out anyways. So it's gonna go ahead and wrestle them out of there now. Woo-wee. All right, well, a few cuss words later and the tank is out of there. Got some rags stuffed in the lines that come out of the sump. You know, this is going to be a bit of a project moving forward. So one of these lines is still a return back to the tank because I'm using a lift pump now. But the original feed line, you know, that will probably need to get removed and shortened back here. Everything I look at is kind of gross looking. You know, all this plastic is now 25 years old or so. But these things are really crusty and gross, really rusted out. You know, these lines are obviously crap and I really only need one of them. The filler neck and breather, I guess it is just old and gross. This is gonna be just stored over here for now, but there is definitely gonna have to be some figuring moving forward with this. You know, it's definitely not a priority yet, but none of this stuff can just go back in the truck the way it came out. This is gonna need a pretty solid once over. There's gonna be all sorts of stuff like this every time you open up a truck that's even this old. You know, you're expecting everything to be kind of bagged out and ready to be redone, so that's fine. Leave her here for now. Something that has deeply bothered me is this mat here. When I had the engine out, I probably could have done something with it, and I've always regretted that I just left it the way it was. This is just so gross. It's stuff like this. You know, I've got a mountain of work ahead of me to get this thing back together, but just the fact of having it down to the point where stuff like this is accessible and I can remove it and figure out a better alternative is just so nice. I've been looking forward to yanking this stupid thing out of here for quite some time. Just gross old oil-soaked stuff. Oh, there we go. Oh boy, great news. I've done some measuring and I've figured out where to put this cab. So if I do a big clean and organize in this section, move the tires, move the garbage behind it, move the engine, all that kind of stuff, I can put the quad in. So instead of being sideways to the wall, it'll be like this. Actually, maybe I'll put it out towards the door so I can still get it out of there. But I'll put the cab of the truck sitting right here sideways so that the driver's side door is against the wall and the passenger side is out here. Obviously, it'll be about this wide. Next, I can put the quad behind that with the rear of the quad against the wall and the front out here. And that way I can have everything tucked up against this side of the thing. And then this entire, you know, 2/3 of the shop or whatever, I can just strictly devote to the frame, which is gonna make a gigantic difference. I cannot state how much pressure that is off my mind, because I'll be able to tip the frame on its side, flip it upside down, you know, wherever I want to have it, I can have it just at the most comfortable work position possible. Let me tell you, is that going to make a big difference? I really do not want to be laying underneath it with crap grinding stuff in my eyes and everything like that. This is going to be really nice. I can position it any way I want. You know, between the two little cranes I have in here, you know, the world is my oyster. So this is really good news. I can't believe I didn't think of this before, but I think we're going to be good to go. I'll put the frame right on the actual ground, no blocks at all. That way it'll give me the maximum amount of lift with the crane, and then I can just have that hovering in there, shimmy the frame over against that wall, and then just figure out a way to maneuver it all around. But anyways, I'm gonna be quite busy for the next little bit just organizing this corner, and there's no point showing you all that boring junk. So I'll see you once it's all an open spot over there and we can move the cab over and put it on some blocks, and I'm really feel this is such a weight off my mind that I can do this. So anyways, here we go. I can now finally remove the leaf springs that the fuel tank is out of there. Well, folks, we are pretty much down to a bare frame. I figured I would spare you guys this week's episode of how not to move a cab, but man, this thing is fitting over here nice. I've even got about a foot or so on the other side. I can shimmy over there if I need to get anything, and plenty of room for the quad to sit here, and I can still pull it out and throw it in the back of the Dakota and head on out for a ride. So this really was quite a pleasant surprise that it was all possible.